going on, everybody? Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to this week's Productive Agent Podcast. My name is Tony Ruiz. I am the founder and host of the Productive Agent Podcast and Facebook group. Last week, we were off on just having to catch up on a few things with my real estate business and personal things, but I'm excited to be back and get going for this week. Our mission here at the Productive Agent is to motivate, inspire, encourage, and educate those working in the real estate industry or those thinking about getting into the real estate industry. This week's episode is entitled My Love-Hate Relationship with Real Estate. There's plenty of things that I absolutely love about real estate, and there's things that kind of drive me bonkers. And we're going to kind of talk about a few of those things. The reason that I got into real estate, and pretty much every single person that does get into real estate, that boils down to two things, and those things are time and money. All right. Everybody gets into it thinking that, I'm going to have so much free time. I get to make my own schedule, which is true, but it's also dangerous at the same time. They also think that it's easy money, that you're just going to, everybody that's in real estate makes tons and tons of money, and that's really not accurate at all. In fact, I think the average income for a real estate agent is somewhere in the $30,000 to $40,000 range, but there is potential to make tons and tons of money, but you do have to put in some work. Of course, HGTV makes it look, glorious and so easy and pretty, but there's so many things that go into doing this business that they don't show you, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. As far as time, it is pretty incredible to not have a boss, all right? You don't have to check in with anybody. Nobody is making you go to work at a certain time or check out at a certain time, but if there's no accountability with that, all right? So there's a good thing and a bad thing. You have to make sure that you are your own boss and you hold yourself to a high standard so that you are active in producing money-making activities that's going to make you successful. One of the great things also is you get to make your own schedule, right? So we wake up and we go, okay, I'm going to get to work at this time, and it's really important that you have a set time of work instead of just kind of making it up as you go. But it is nice to move things around. The flexibility is pretty great in this job to where you go, hey, I have an appointment here with my daughter. We're going to dinner, so I can't schedule anything at that time. Let's go ahead and move you around and work around our schedule and your client's schedule. So that's nice. And whenever you feel like it, you can take a day off pretty much as long as your clients are being taken care of. That's the most important thing. And hopefully you have a little bit of help. But it is nice to kind of plan out those times off and give yourself a little mental break. And traveling at any time of the year is always nice. Instead of everybody traveling at the same time, it's super busy during the summer and spring break. You kind of get to pick your own schedule and go, hey, I'm going to travel at this time. And hopefully everything is lined up to where your business is still being taken care of. As far as money goes, the great thing about it is that the more you work, the more you get paid. And that tends to work out 99% of the time. So you are rewarded for the time that you're putting in. So that's super attractive. And there's also no ceiling to how much you can make. All right. You go out there, you meet more people, you write up more contracts, you make more money. All those things are great. And there is no ceiling and limit to what you can make. But there's also no floor. A lot of people don't talk about that. But if you're not putting in the work, if you're not doing the money-making activities, it's not going to end up well financially for you. So you got to make sure that you're getting to work and treating it like a full-time job. You're also 30 to 60 days out from a payday. So even if you have a client ready to go that's pre-approved, they find their dream house today, you put under contract, everything's looking great, you're still at least 30 days out, maybe 10 days if they're a cash buyer, but 9 times out of 10, you're 30 to 60 days out. So that's kind of a tough to swallow sometimes. Once you do close, the checks are nice, right? Most of the time, you're getting 3% on a purchase price, and the checks are big, but they don't take out any taxes, and you're not paying for any health insurance. So you have to account for that as you go. Things that I think are really important to do and practice to be a successful realtor. You have to make sure that you create a work schedule and you stick to that schedule. All right. Make sure that you're getting up at the same time, making sure that you check in and open up the computer and get to work at a certain time and follow through with that schedule. the more you treat it like a full-time job, the more it's going to pay you like a full-time job. So like really focus on that and get really organized with who's your database. Have names, phone numbers, email address, physical address to mail to, and make sure that you're following up with those people. Have a great calendar system, right? So that you don't miss appointments and you don't schedule things on top of each other. Have a great follow-up system and making sure that you're checking in with your people either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, etc. Know what your budget is and what you plan on doing marketing-wise throughout the year, throughout the week, and make sure you stay committed to that. I like to say this, and I heard this from somebody else, but plan your work. Take time to actually plan your work, and then once it's planned, just do the work. So plan your work and work your plan and put your head down and get to work. There is 87% of realtors fail within the first 2 years. And that's a statistic from National Association of Realtors. So you're trying to be in that top 13%. So when everybody's showing you that it's so easy and everybody makes tons and tons of money doing this, it's not exactly true, but it is possible. Just know that the failure rate is really, really high. But again, if you go back to some things that we talked about here on the podcast, you're going to be in great shape. Some must-haves as you get into the real estate business is you should definitely be saving up some money. You're probably 3 to 6 months from your first deal, according to NAR. And you want to make sure that you have some money in the bank that's going to hold you over before you get that first transaction. You also want to make sure that you choose a great brokerage and a support team that gives you all of the tools and support you need. There's lots of great brokerages out there. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you talk to other real estate agents that have been successful and are doing it at a high level, and make sure that you're signing on with the correct team and brokerage. With that should come a plan of action, having some mentors in place, some leadership that's going to give you what you need to, and they're going to have done it before and say, hey, this is what you need to do day 1, day 30, day 60, etc., and execute that plan. You also want to make sure that you, again, going back to you have a set schedule of money-making activities that are going to get you to that paycheck. Things that I love about real estate. Real estate is amazing. And what's really cool is the people you meet in the business and the relationships that you form from the people that are close to you that work with you, coworkers, mentors, coaches, to clients, to the relationships that you already had before real estate, and you continue to grow and pour into those people. I also love the flexibility, right? Knowing that, hey, we can move things around, fit it around our schedule, still kind of have a social life as well, as long as you're taking care of your clients and making sure that things are taken care of. The opportunity is amazing. I believe that anybody can do this. I've seen people come right out of high school and close deals like within their first month or so. And you know, I started at 35, and the skills that I have today, 4 years later, are skills that I developed, and anybody can learn, and the opportunity is phenomenal. Of course, the money is nice. When the money's rolling in and those closings are happening and the money's stacking up, that's obviously really, really cool, but you got to be really responsible with it, and putting money aside for taxes and health insurance, etc. The rewards of clients being extremely thankful is something that I love as well. When you're helping them make a huge transaction, the largest transaction of their life, finding the American dream and home ownership, it's really rewarding to see those smiles and see those people enjoying the house that you helped them get into. And on the opposite side, helping them sell and move on to the next. And alleviate any of the stress that they might have going into the transaction. Something that we don't really talk about a lot, but it's also really cool is that the personal growth that you experience in real estate, working on your mindset, working on your mental health, your physical health, all of those things, and elevating your personal brand to grow your wealth and grow generational wealth for the people behind you. Helping clients and agents is also something that I really love. Seeing a new agent come in, helping them grow their business and affect others is really, really powerful. Some things that I hate or dislike is the people. It kind of sounds funny, but on one side, I love all the people, and then the other side, some people are annoying. irritating to work with, frustrating to work with, don't answer their phones or text messages. And we are in a people sport here. So we have to make sure that we're communicating with all types of people and getting along and helping each other get to the finish line. Another thing that kind of bothers me is you always kind of feel like you're on call. The phone rings, you should probably answer it. You never know who it is. You need to make sure that when you're under contract and you're following up with things with the title company, the lender, the other client, the other agent, and making sure that you're pretty much a phone call away, but making sure that you kind of delegate some of that if you can through a transaction coordinator or other people on your team to help give you a little bit of time off. Something that can be frustrating as well. Money is awesome when it's coming in, but it can be inconsistent. The ebb and flow of the year and the market and whatever, sometimes we get inconsistent with our work. And so when we get inconsistent with our work, guess what? Our money gets inconsistent. So that's a little frustrating. Obviously, you can't just rely on that consistent paycheck every single month. You got to put the time in, the work in, so that everything falls through and you get to that payday. Another thing that's pretty annoying is taxes. You get those big paychecks, but taxes are not pulled out. So you need to be making sure that you're responsible and putting money aside so that when the tax bill comes, you are able to pay that and stay on top of it. There's also no health benefits. A large majority of brokerages don't offer group health plans for you and your family. I know that EXP's with them, and they have a partnership and support for health benefits for you and your family. So that's a huge plus at EXP. But majority of people do not have that, and you have to go buy that on your own. So that can be kind of a bummer and expensive. Sometimes the endless amounts of showings. It's funny because sometimes I'll be talking to my parents or something. I'm telling them about a client. They're like, "Oh, did that person close?" And blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I mean, we're still looking. And, it's been a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it's been, dragging their feet for various reasons. But it's not quick and automatic. So sometimes we have to do a lot of showings. Sometimes it takes a few months to get into contract. So that can be a little bit frustrating at times. And kind of tagging along with that is how long a deal can happen. My big belief is it doesn't bother me too much how long a deal might take, as long as that relationship is still there. I know that that deal is going to close at some point. Some close faster than others, and some take longer than others. What excites me most about it overall is simply the opportunity, right? Real estate is one of those industries that's created some of the biggest amount of millionaires. And it's not all about the money, but it's about what you can do with that money and giving back, helping support other agents, other clients, whatever it is. So that's exciting to me. It's a vehicle that I know that is trustworthy and can build a life of your dreams. And that's what excites me the most about it. So that's my list, guys. I don't have a huge long list. I could go through Broke Agent and talk about all the funny things that they post about of the frustrations. If you don't follow the Broke Agent on Instagram, I highly encourage you to do so. A lot of great material on there, a lot of funny things to laugh about. So that's my list. What did you think? I'd love to hear what you thought. Share what you love or hate about real estate. Shoot me a message on social media or send me an email. All the links will be down in the show notes. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And if so, I'd love you to drop a review and rate the show to help us grow and impact others like you. Reach out and join our private Facebook group at The Productive Agents. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Share the show with a friend, and we thank you for joining us. Now let's get out there and go produce.